I still, I think some of this optimism is delusional. I mean, I don't, I really, let's be honest about this. If you look at that team, they got a really good offensive line, right? But all it takes is one injury.
They do.
I mean, look at the backups, so those guys got to play.
They got good backups. What are you talking about?
The backups get hurt all the time.
You got the Mac guys, McMullen and McDonald here with you on Birds 365 on a Football Friday. There he is, Bob Grotz of the Delco Times, good enough to jump aboard with us. And it's funny, Johnny, because you and I were just talking about college football. So I go to Grotz's Twitter real quick to see if he guys still got anything that he's been hitting on of late. Here's a picture of Arch Manning, and Bob Grotz's question is, how much do you think he's going to be getting in NIL?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From Texas, as big a football program as there is on the planet, you don't think Arch is going to be paid significantly to commit to the Longhorns? You are 100% right, Bob Grotz.
Yeah, I'm hearing that he's got oceanfront property in Sarasota.
Sarasota, they got to go Galveston at least.
I don't think Sarasota has an ocean.
That'd be
anyway.
Gulf Coast, yeah.
St. Pete, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, but Arch is going to be just fine. And the University of Texas is going to be just fine. But Bob Grotz, where are you right now? Are you down the shore? Where are you?
I'm in Italy. Look at
Italy, Tuscany,
the cafe behind. Yeah,
yes.
I'm at a cafe. Yeah, I'm kidding.
I'm
back home. I'm back home
because you were down the shore. You didn't make it to Jason Kelsey's celebrity bartending event.
No, they had the bridge. The drawbridge was raised between Sea Isle and Avalon. So I stayed on the Avalon side. Yeah, there was a parking, not a parking, but there was a traffic jam to get on the bridge. So I took the easier, softer way.
That's why you're a smart man.
It was hot, and I'm telling you, the bugs were unbelievable, man. Those greenheads, man. That's the thing about the shore. After a couple of days down there and getting bit by all those big flies,
flies, man.
I'm asking myself, what's the appeal?
They are tough. Tough.
You got a point, because there have been days I've been down the shore when I just said, nope, not going to the beach. There's this beautiful ocean 200 yards from where I'm sitting. I'm not going out. I went out. I got bit twice. See you later. Bye. I'm going back into the house. Now, shame on you. You should have braved that to get over there to see Jason Kelsey and raise some money for a good charity. You got to be a tougher guy than that, Bob Grotz. But generally speaking, I think you make a fair point.
I donate at the Acme. Every time they ask me if I want to give an extra whatever. Yeah. Or as the comedian said.
Yeah. I go to the other door. I'm a bad person, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to, I want to get, but if I don't have anything in my pocket, I'll walk to the other door. So I don't have to be that, what that just walks by them and doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Well,
there are some
how
stores.
petty I am. Now that they don't even give you bags at the grocery store.
I know.
That's right.
You got to bring your own. They're killing their fundraising for charities because people are going in and out of there already ticked off because they had to bring in their own bag.
Yeah.
So shame on the grocery store.
What did they do with those marijuana dispensaries in New Jersey, Jody? I mean, you don't get any. They're not giving out bags anymore. What do? You got to put your hands out. What's the deal?
No plastic bags, Bob.
The next time I go into one would be the first time I would go into one.
No, I'm saying.
Sorry, I can't answer your question, Bob Grotz.
You gotta use one of those.
They didn't think this out. That's what I'm saying. They didn't think this out.
I agree with
you.
Got
to walk out of the dispensary with weed in your hands or put it in your pocket. I mean, that ain't good. Come on, guys.
This is why I see you got Jody going. This is why. But where are you with the paper straw, Bob? I don't like the paper straws either. The paper straws?
Yeah. I'm not a straw guy.
I'm down on the paper straws.
Yeah. I'm not a straw guy at all. Yeah.
I've had to deal with that. All right, Grotz, let's talk some football. Expectations up for the Philadelphia Eagles. People are putting out lists, top 7 rosters in the game. favoritism in more than a double-digit number of the 17 games they're going to play this year. Is the pressure being ratcheted up on the Philadelphia Eagles as we speak?
I guess you could say that. I still, I think some of this optimism is delusional. I mean, I don't, I really, let's be honest about this. If you look at that team, they got a really good offensive line, right? But all it takes is one injury.
They do.
I mean, look at the backups, so those guys got to play.
They got good backups. What are you talking about?
The backups get hurt all the time.
Compared to other teams, but, they are what they are.
Dillard gets hurt in practice. And
he does.
Jack Driscoll, you're going to get 2 or 3 games out of him, and then he's going to be out for 6-7 weeks. But all right, but here's the point. Those guys, if they can go all 17, they got the best offensive line in the division, and you're going to win some games. The wide receiver core, I think they got 2 wide receivers. How can they be a top 5 wide receiver core when you only got 2 guys? I mean, they're really good. Brown and Devontae Smith are really good, but the rest of those guys, let's be honest about that.
Yeah, I think people are overrating Quez.
Yeah, Zach Pascal,
come on, have you listened to Nick Sirianni talk about Pascal? He's not going to get the Pro Bowl master this year. Come on,
he's going to be blocking for AJ Brown on the Jet sweeps if he gets in there. And Greg Ward, he's a leadership guy. I'd rather have Jalen Reagor than either of those guys.
Jalen Reagor. We haven't mentioned Jalen Reagor.
I'm just saying. So I mean, you got 2 really good. I think Devontae Smith is the best player on the team. I think I said that the last show. I think he is a talent. So you got 2 really good wide receivers. You got, the running backs. I like them, but you can't unless you're Tennessee.
Got a good tight end. Tight end.
I like Goddard too. Unless you're Tennessee, you're not going to win that way with running the ball. And is the quarterback going to be able to throw it? We still don't know that. I mean, I was looking for, even in the little warm-ups they did during the OTAs, I was looking for anything I could glean from his delivery, his steps and everything. And he did something different every drop back. I didn't see any. I mean, but that's the setting was it was an OTA. So, you're not all in a rhythm or anything. But so, I mean, you guys got to and look at the defensive line. I like the defensive line. The guy people haven't spoken about or been talking about is Milton Williams. He's going to be really good.
Not going to play. Where's he going to play?
No.
Where's he going to play?
Milton Williams is going to get a lot of snaps. Yeah, he's going to be good. Yeah, he'll probably end up. He'll probably end up in where Brandon Graham is. I don't know if Brandon's going to. I don't know how much juice he's going to have. So,
I don't know how much Brandon or Milton are going to play.
I think Milton is going to play a lot, and then the other guy, Sweat. He's the one that's going to benefit from Hassan.
Oh yeah, Josh Sweat's a good player.
Yeah, he was. If Reddick had been there last year, he would have had double digit. Sweat would have had double digits.
I think Jordan Davis is more important to Reddick and Josh Sweat because he's just going to.
In his rookie season, he's a 2-down guy, John. I mean, come on. He gets winded during the warm-ups.
Probably. But I'm not only talking about –
it's going to take him some time.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's only going to play about 40-50% of the time as a rookie. But when he's out there, you got to double team him. You have to. So that's going to open up things for the other guys.
I'll tell you something else too. I've been watching some of the Bradbury footage, and there's a reason the Giants thought that they could do without him.
Be careful, Jody's a big Bradbury guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought here was my thinking on him. Whoever the Carolina Panthers draft at cornerback is good. This guy, he's okay. I don't know if he's good. He's okay.
Well, he's better than Tay Gowan and Zach McPherson.
Yeah, there's no question. And they, it's a definite upgrade for the Eagles. Yeah, and I like this guy Tart. Looking at some of his stuff, this guy's a tackler. He's a pretty sure tackler. So I like what I've seen of him. But
on the Jaquiski Tart band,
I know you guys like that little linebacker Jakobe Dean.
Nakobe. Jody's a big Nakobe guy.
Nakobe.
Yeah, Nakobe. Yeah. I don't think he's. You know what, Jody? He's not the biggest guy. I mean, he's going to get.
Neither was Aaron Donald, and he's only become the greatest football player in the history of the game.
I think it's a little bit early to talk about those two guys in the same breath. Yeah,
you gotta just watch the result of the play. Stop over analyzing the size of the play. Oh my God, he's only 5'11". How can he play linebacker in the National?
He's not 5'11".
Did you see him play? Linebacker at one of the most prestigious universities, playing against the best competition? Won a national championship. Key guy to their defense. That doesn't register with you. You're just worried about the fact that he's only 5'11".
They had 5 guys drafted in the first round, defensive guys. I'm exaggerating a little bit.
No, they did. Didn't they have 5? It was 5. It was
he's going to be the best out of all of them. And he went in the 3rd round, and all those other guys went in the 1st round.
He's got to be better than that guy from the Chargers who led the Chargers in tackle. I mean, there's something that I would not put at the top of my resume. Yeah.
So you're not a Kazir White fan.
I led the Chargers in tackles.
Now, Nakobe Dean's got a chance to be a good linebacker, but I think it's going to take a while. I don't think it's going to be any giant splash as a rookie.
Do we know if he's even healthy? I mean,
we don't. He barely did anything in OTAs. So remember, Howie was really impact. He wanted to play down the injury concerns.
Yeah, he was conflicted. Remember?
Yeah.
He didn't know who to take in the 3rd round. I mean, the 2nd round.
The 2nd round. Yeah. Oh, he knew who to take the sticking offensive lineman. He admitted that. It comes down to offensive line or defensive line.
Well, he said he was conflicted, though, between those guys. Yeah.
He wasn't conflicted.
Yeah, by the way, one of these days he's going to sign, right?
Cam Jurgens, He'll sign 2 days before camp, just like Landon Dickerson last year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be concerned about that. But getting back to the linebackers, Bob, you're trying to get us off track here.
Well, no, my whole point, though, was I think this talent is vastly overrated,
All right, but if I get
these ratings, is this Pro Football Focus?
Pro Football Focus, top 7.
For God's sakes.
Top 7 roster in the NFL. But I want to whittle you down to linebacker because you're ripping Jody's guy. So we have 3 possibilities: TJ Edwards, Kaiser White, Nakobe Dean. Of those 3, who are the 2 who are going to play the most next season?
Well, it'll be Edwards will be one of them. The other guy, if Kaiser's playing a lot, that's not
bad.
Good.
That's bad.
Good. Yeah, but he might. But he's going to play more than Dean, and I'll tell you why. Dean is going to get hurt. That's his MO.
That could be, but it's nice to have some depth. That's how you get the 7th best roster, Bob.
Yeah. Well, I told you about the depth. I don't even know if they have. They barely have. Except for the defensive line, they barely have 11 starters on defense.
I'm pretty sure I know where this one's going to go, but I'll give you a chance to be negative about another guy. How do you like the Eagles' punting game, Bob Grotz?
Oh.
Yeah, they need to go. Yeah, we all know that. They need to upgrade that, because, although, I respect Miles Sanders and what he says, they're not
all-star team.
The Eagles aren't unstoppable. Yeah, so they're going to need a pretty good punter.
All-star. Let's talk about all-star team then. What is Miles? Obviously, you probably shouldn't say that kind of stuff, Bob. But
all-star? Yeah. Well, I think he just means that at some time in their lives, they've all been on an all-star team. Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know what he was saying. I would have had to have been there because I would have been.
But that doesn't differentiate you from any other team in the league.
Yeah.
Everybody's got somebody who was in high school. Every player on all 32 teams in the National Football League has high school.
It works though.
This just in. Yeah. I don't know what I mean, but you can't. I mean, I wouldn't. Don't knock the guy for being optimistic.
But this is obviously the downtime in the NFL, and everybody's bored. Everybody's looking. And Miles is talking about all-star teams, and A.J. Brown is out there with conspiracy theories on how long the days are, which he's correct, and Jody doesn't believe. And Nick Sirianni's threatening to fight people on Haddonfield tennis courts. We got to get the steam back in South Philadelphia, though.
I didn't know about that. Sirianni. Oh, for God's sake.
You didn't hear about that?
No, I missed that. So what happened?
A caller from Maple Shade here in South Jersey called up one of Jody's stations, WFAN, and he said Giants fan, and he claimed that he was wearing a Giants hat and I believe the Yankees t-shirt, if I'm correct, Jody.
Yes.
And Nick Sirianni was giving him the business on the tennis courts in Haddonfield, which I've been there in my youth, and said, and was threatening to fight him, which I do not believe, by the way. I do not believe for 10 seconds that Nick Sirianni is threatening some rando because he's wearing a Giants hat on a tennis court with his wife. I think it's just a blowhard. But that's the story.
Whoa. I like the edge. I like that edge.
Yeah,
bring that into the season. Yeah.
It's a former Bronx guy who's moved down to South Jersey, who retains his New York rooting interest, who said that Sirianni took 2 threatening steps toward him.
2 threatening steps.
Yeah, that was huge. And I heard the guy who's on WIP yesterday. He called FAN in the morning, called WIP in the afternoon with Marks and Reese, and he attempted to explain it / defend his stance. Yeah, it didn't wash. Didn't hold water for me a little bit. Yeah, Sirianni came off as a guy who's trying to have some fun with the guy.
Yeah, I believe Nick. I believe
trash talking, and the guy took it all the wrong way and decided to make it into something that it wasn't.
Yeah, nickel buster, you know what? I believe that part of it. But yeah, he's not dumb enough to.
Yeah, maybe they were fake steps too. Sometimes you take a couple of steps, and just to see if the guy will move. Yeah, maybe they're. I can appreciate that. Yeah.
All right. Now this will ruin my weekend if your next opinion doesn't align with mine. You've given us some interesting takes on the Eagle players that you do like. You've jumped on that Jaquiski Tart bandwagon.
I don't think
Bradford can play, but you think Jaquiski Tart's can make a big
I think he can tackle, and they need a guy that can tackle back there. He's a hard tackler. Okay.
Give me your projection for how productive a player Derek Barnett is going to be for the Eagles.
Ooh, there we go.
There's a guy that gets hurt too, but there's no denying that this guy can set the edge, Derek Barnett. There's no denying that, Jody. He's really good at that, and he has, when he's not committing penalties, he's got more career penalties than sacks, which is kind of weird, for a guy like that who hasn't really played as many snaps as some of the other guys. But I think he's just a guy right now. He'll help him set the edge. He'll give him some depth. Who knows? Who knows with Hassan Reddick, though? I mean, maybe that'll help. I think Reddick is a good pass rusher, but I don't, I've been hearing people say he's going to take this defense to another level. He's not that kind of guy, He is not a guy that takes a defense to another level, or he wouldn't have been let go. They would have given him all the money he wanted. But he's good. He's good. So
he's not a Bosa. He's not, Khalil Mack in his prime, but
exactly.
He's better than the Eagles have had for a long time.
Well, there's no question. Yeah, he's a guy that can get to the passer. So, but you need a guy. You're going to need a guy like Barnett who can set an edge too. Hassan Reddick can't set the edge. He's too little. I mean, he's a pure pass rusher.
We have Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett.
Graham can set the edge, yeah.
Milton Williams.
How much is he going to play, though? He's coming off a serious injury.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Who's the odd man out? You said Milton's going to play a lot.
Oh, he's going to play a lot, and he can play defensive end, too.
You got
They're going to go more with that. They're going to go more with a 3-man line, right,
Yeah,
John?
But then, if they go with a 3-man line.
Then you put Milton Williams. He'll be one of the guys outside on obvious run.
But who's going to sit then? Who's going to sit? You're paying Josh Sweat to sit. You can't sit Hassan Reddick. He's going to be the overhang player.
Oh, you can play 3-man line and have Reddick line up at a linebacker type of thing.
Yeah, he can play Sam linebacker.
You can have him. You can have him rushing the passer. Yeah. How many linebackers did they really use last year? 2.
Yeah, 2 off-ball linebackers.
Yeah,
and they're going to use those overhang fronts. So they're going to use 5-man fronts, 4-man fronts, 3-man fronts.
Don't get me wrong about that defensive line. I think that is the strength.
But Fletcher's playing
offensive line, then defensive line, strengths of the team.
Fletcher's playing. They're not paying him $14 million to sit. Javon's playing.
Guess what? If Fletcher if he doesn't take on blockers and do the things that they want to do, his snaps will diminish. Don't
maybe from where they were at 85% when he used to play almost all the time.
Yeah, if he complains about it too, I mean, there's always the trade deadline for him. I'm kind of surprised they brought him back. I don't get that. I don't think he's not the guy that I want influencing my young players. Really, I don't like that. I don't like his act. I mean, he wanted it. He wanted out. Did he not? I mean, he criticized the coach.
He may have wanted out, but he couldn't have re-signed any quicker than he did.
Yeah.
They made him a free agent, and 24 hours later, he was re-signed. How badly did he want out?
They tried to trade him at the trade deadline, and then when they released him, there wasn't a rush of people there. I mean,
not at $14 million. It is a bit of a strange story, but
it sure is. I mean, it just. Yeah,
but if you're paying a guy that money, he's not going to sit. He's just not. Now you might trade him, as you said, at the trade deadline. They tried to trade him last year as well. But early in the season, he's going to play. Somebody's got to sit.
I'd like to see his contract too, because agents will put out there that it's fully guaranteed, and there's several times when there's. The guarantees are with incentives. If you're on the roster at this time, and this time, if you're there through 8 games or whatever, if you're playing this percentage of the snaps, I'd like to see that contract and really see what that is. But if it was me, I mean, there's a guy, and the other thing is, didn't they? I mean, it was a cap thing as well with him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been another huge dent.
Right, but they as soon as you release them, you take the cap hit. So the cap hit was what the cap hit was.
Yeah, they just wanted to reset
no, you're a
$14
million player. So the Eagles still believe that he's a borderline Pro Bowl level tackle for them going into the season.
By the way, Bob, $12.5 million with the signing bonus. 14 all guaranteed. So they're paying him 14.
Yeah. Well, I don't, you think he's, do they think he's a Pro Bowl guy?
They think he's a good player.
They're paying him $14 million. Yeah, they think he's a borderline Pro Bowl guy.
I think they know he's not what he once was, when he was one of the best 2 or 3 defensive tackles in football, but they still think he's good.
So you're not telling me that they don't expect a lot out of Jordan Davis.
No, I'm telling you, Milton ain't playing. Milton's got to wait till 2023 unless somebody gets hurt.
Milton Williams playing about 75% of the snaps.
All right, I'm going to call. You better put
John
this.
And I are in the 30s.
You better put this tape on YouTube because I'm going to play it back for you guys before I come on about Milton Williams.
Yeah, all right.
He's going to have a better year than either of those guys. He's going to have more sacks than either of those guys.
What about Javon?
Maybe both of those guys combined.
Well, he might have more sacks. Jordan Davis isn't going to get sacks.
Yeah, okay.
It's not what he's here for.
Who's going to have more sacks?
Fletcher Hargrave.
Fletcher Cox or Milton Williams?
Javon Hargrave 1, Fletcher Cox 2, Jordan Davis 3, Milton Williams 4, because Milton's not going to play. That's if everybody's healthy.
I want that. Yeah,
that's if everybody's healthy. Yeah. Now, if somebody gets hurt, that changes the equation.
I want a piece of that. Javon Hargrave, I'll go with 1. But Milton Williams is going to have more than the rest of those guys.
He's not going to play.
Maybe more than the rest of those guys combined.
You can't. I'm not insulting Milton. He would have more sacks if he was playing, but
You are insulting him when you say he's not going to play. I mean, with those tackles, if he doesn't play, he's going to.
Oh, I'll go ahead and insult Milton Williams right now. He's not going to play. He's not going to play as much as Hargrave. He's not going to play as much as Davis. He's not going to play as much as Fletcher.
You better put this. Is Tone listening? Rotation. Make sure this goes up on YouTube because I'm.
Oh yeah, we're going to save that. The only thing that I'm worried about now, Bob, is
what do you guys
read? You're going to be able to make it through the season alive. Because I don't know if it's going to be you're going to have to kill yourself because you've been so woefully wrong today, or if an Eagle fan is going to kill you leaving the press box this year because you've talked down as many Eagles as you have.
It's interesting because Bob talked down a lot of Eagles, but then he throws the curveball and he talks up Milton Williams
is going to be all pro.
Yeah. Hold it. I did not talk down that defensive line. Offensive line, strength of the team.
He had Fletcher Cox get one sack.
He's not
that talking good. Down the defensive line.
This just in, Jody. He's not that good. And as a matter of fact,
he's not as
good as he once was.
But so underwhelming. He blamed the coach.
Howie Roseman thinks he's good enough to earn $14 million.
He was so underwhelming. He blamed the coach. I don't know what was going on with that.
In Bob's defense, Howie might have not wanted to change the bat head in his office from Fletcher Cox, so maybe he kept him for that reason. Bob Grotz at Bob Grotz, Delaware County Times. Read him there. Jody always loves it when he come on this program. Bob loves it.
And you guys got to stop reading so much of that Pro Football Focus and trust your instincts. You know,
that's fair.
Here's what I trust, my two eyes, and I watched Nakobe Dean be the best linebacker in college football, and it wasn't at Bay State; it was at friggin' Georgia, who won the national championship.
I can't think of another linebacker in football.
The game, and he's going to be that in the national football.
I can't think of another linebacker in college football. Can you?
Yeah, Channing.
Jody.
They had two linebackers. Did they both get drafted ahead of him, Jody?
Yeah, I mean
the other two Georgia linebackers. I think they did. Quincy.
They
I'm
got
not saying he's bad.
Guys
I
like
just don't
Hassan Reddick
understand.
who play on the edge, who are Sam linebackers, and are they really linebackers or are they pass rushers?
Right. It's skewed. Yeah, he's a true linebacker.
He is. And
is he better? Yeah, if he can stay healthy, he can have a good year. But I don't see it happening, man. And by the way, he's not 5'11". He's like 5'9".
Yeah. You've stood next to him already.
Cleats. Huh? In his cleats.
I think
Sam Mills was 5'9", and he's going in the Hall of Fame, right?
That's true.
There you go.
Okay. Well, there's one in a million. Yeah.
The game has changed.
Two.
I'm going to give him 5'11". I'm going to give him 5'11". Yeah, I don't think he's 6 foot, but
he's under 6. But at 5'11", he'll be just fine. Bob Grotz, a pleasure. Glad that you made it home safe and sound from the shore, and you didn't get eaten alive by the big flies down there. But you
can't wait until the next show, guys.
You're going to get eaten alive by Eagle fans when you show up at the link.